Going
Okay.
live. We're going live, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
I still can't see Charlie.
If anybody's watching, you can say something if you like. But we're just trying to sort some technical glitches on our end. Hello? Well, this is going tremendously well so far. For those of you who might be watching, but at this stage, I'm not quite sure, but we're just still trying to connect to via Discord. But give us a moment. This is TFL Creative Media's first ever stream, but We'll work it out.
You hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Good.
that's something. Charlie's just not quite with us yet.
Could be a connection issue.
Yes, that might be a possibility. I don't think it's quite nice to start without him, though. I think that might be kind of, rude to not start with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's your choice.
But we got Flame Fury watching, but right now he's the only person watching. Oh no, we've got two viewers. But he's just the only one who's given a comment. Okay, well, at least we've anyway. At least I can see us on stream, so that's a start.
Yep.
Okay, well, at least we'll try our best to get started, and we'll wait. We'll see. We'll wait for Charlie to get in. I'm sure he will turn up at some point. But anyways, sorry for the delays, everybody. Welcome to this live stream to conclude Railway Women Week. I am Toby Loxton, the host, the writer and director, and I am joined by Summer Clarke-Graham, who played our leading lady herself, the Railway Woman herself, Summer. And soon Charlie Sharp, who played Danny, will be joining with us soon. Flame Fury says, "Take all the time you need when Charlie gets here." Well, that's very kind of you, mate. Nice to have that. Nice to have the support right there. It's very encouraging. But anyways, so this is just like an open discussion, really. All of you can ask us some questions. You can talk with us. Basically, it's an open book. It's a sounding board if you want to talk about TFL Creative Media's latest short film. But just in general, Summer, hello.
Hello.
Did you have you been enjoying Railway One Week?
Yeah. No, I have been. It's been good seeing the response to the film. Obviously, more of my friends have seen it now, and some family members as well, and they all really liked it. They all really enjoyed it. I
thought we had Charlie there just then,
nice but for it to finally be out there for people to see. So yeah, no, it's been really nice.
Oh, you seem to have frozen on your end.
Oh no, I think you're frozen again.
Yeah, just a bit.
We love technology.
We have the technology, but it turns out we have no clue how to use it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can still hear you at least.
Oh, wait, you're back now?
Yeah, you're back too.
Okay, alright, that's good. And they said technology was going to make our lives easier.
Yeah, that's literally the consensus right there. But hang on a second, make a wine screen again. Oh, there we are. But anyways, so you're happy for people to finally see it?
Yeah. A couple of people in particular had really been looking forward to seeing it, and I really enjoyed their response as well. I was a little bit nervous just because they'd also never really seen me act before, and it's always a bit nerve-wracking when someone sees you act for the first time and think, oh no, what if they think I'm terrible, and stuff like that. The stuff that all actors and performers and just sort of creatives in general go through. Really,
it was that. I mean, you felt like that a bit on set. Like I can remember, it was after the first day of filming, and we were having dinner at the Airbnb, and then Harry Walters just arrived, and he joined us, and he's someone who's been acting for quite a while. And you said this much to him, and he gave some really nice support to you, I think. I mean, can you remember sort of what he said?
Yeah. Oh wow. I mean, it was. Well, I mean, it was a year ago now when we filmed it, so I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
exactly that he would have said, but all of the cast were all really supportive.
Yeah,
I couldn't have really asked for a better cast to work with on a film like this.
It's ironic.
It was really nice.
Yeah, it's ironic because you and Vince Shield, who played Graham, which is I always found it kind of funny because you are Summer Clarke-Graham, and there's a character in it called Graham. Oh, and you frozen again. Oh, Charlie!
Oh,
At last!
I don't think it's working on my laptop, so I changed it to my phone.
Oh, fair enough. Well, that's fair. That's fair enough. But hang on.
Okay.
Look at this on a wider screen. Well, there you go, everybody. Charlie Sharp has joined us. And Summer's back, and Charlie's back.
Yes.
Yes. At last.
Hello. Hey. Well, the gang's all here.
Well, not all of us. I mean,
Not all, but yeah.
Yeah, we were going to have a few more, but there was some scheduling conflicts on their end. But they're with us in spirit.
Exactly. Always with us in spirit.
Yeah, well, someone was just you haven't missed much, Charlie. Someone was just saying something along the lines of like how it feels to like have the film out after all this time. How do you take it? How are you taking it?
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, I've watched it so many times since it's come out, and yeah, it just feels very like accomplished for it to be finally released and people seeing it.
Yeah, so you're one of the few hundred people who have who viewed it.
When it gets to 1 million, I'll be able to say that I was one of the first few.
I mean, to be fair, if it ever got to 1,000, I'd be happy. To be fair, so if anyone's watching, then please help us do that, please.
I reckon it can.
But not many people.
I think it can.
But not
There's
many
no reason
people.
why it can't.
Yeah, no, I don't see why it can't either. But not more people are watching at the moment. Anyway, to be honest, I could just talk in a high-pitched squeak, and then it wouldn't really make a difference. I mean, it's the first live stream, so things are bound to be tedious. But we're here now, and we'll just essentially, like I was saying earlier to Summer, it's just an open discussion for for us to look back on memories, maybe talk to each other, divulge secrets. No, not divulge secrets, but just to get to get takes on the situation of the film. And if there are any questions that come in online, then we'll answer them. So yeah, how about why don't we start right with because both of you came into the production in different ways, because you had to audition Summer, but you didn't. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the casting call come through, and I was like, oh, I would absolutely love to play a role like this. This was just coming back off of I think it was either that summer, that year, or the year before, was when I first went to my GP and said, look, there's all this going on. I think I might be autistic. And then going to uni, still not having the diagnosis, but still knowing that I am autistic, and then kind of worrying about what kind of just how that's going to affect me as a performer going forward, because you don't see a lot of casting calls for autistic females. So when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I've got to audition for this, because these just aren't the type of roles that you see a lot of casting calls for, even just any level in this industry, whether it's student, indie, Hollywood. You just don't see a lot of calls like that. So I knew that I had to at least go for it and just put everything that I could into the audition. And then I was actually practicing the drums when I got the call. I remember distinctly I was playing Invisible Touch by Genesis. I was waiting as well for the call, I mean, even if I don't, then at least I know that I'd put my all into the audition. But then I did get it, which was really, really, really nice. And then did a lot of happy drumming after the call ended. So yeah.
That's because I gave you a call, didn't I, about the rock?
Yeah.
Because this was cheeky on my part, but I kind of was trying to lead you on that you didn't get it, because I was like,
yes.
So I was no, you're gonna love this, Charlie. So I called her up, on her phone because I thought like I think if she wants to hear this news, she's going to want to hear it this way because it's the best thing I can do other than hear it in person. But I did exactly what Joey Tribbiani does when he was successful in an audition and eggs them on to think that they hadn't got it. So I called her and was like, "Say, Summer, so I'm calling you about the audition for the Railway Woman. I think you know what this call is, and I think you were like, it's like, yeah, I think I get it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And it's like, so I was like, so would you like it?
Yeah, I was like, hey, what?
It was priceless.
It was very X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. You know, when they say or like again, they try to think, oh no, you haven't got through. It's not good news. It's great news. Like when they do stuff like that on those shows. But yeah, no, it was all good.
Yeah.
In the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good news.
Film Flame, I will answer your question in a sec, but Charlie, why don't you take us through? Because like you sort of came on last minute, which is that sounds kind of mean because well, I mean, yeah, we did cast someone else who did audition, but I think there was a scheduling conflict, I believe. So I called you up, and this Charlie Sharp, you're a man I can always depend upon, and when you bring yourself to a role, you really did because I called you, didn't I, about the role?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And your only worry was the singing and dancing, wasn't it?
Just a little bit, yeah.
So how did you find?
I'm not super experienced in that area.
Because if you had stage performance, it was you had qualifications for it, but like, how did you find that in the end?
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, actually, because I think we were taken through it fairly slow, not super slowly, but everything was explained to us, and we kept going over things, and I think it was done in a really good way, especially as someone who just doesn't quite click with that sort of thing. I think I really liked how involved it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's thanks to Lily Hawkins. I think her choreographing was really good.
Oh yeah, she was great.
If I ever want to do something that involves a dance number again, I think she's definitely the person I'm going to call next, without a doubt. She was so good, and she did it for free, by the way. Like she did it out of the kindness of her heart. So
wow.
Yeah, pretty on Lily Hawkins. Tribute to Lily Hawkins, choreographer there. But anyway, no.
Big up.
But yeah, but Flame Fury. But Flame Fury had a question. He wants to know. I assume you're a he. I don't know what your pronouns are. But anyways, they asked, what was your favourite part of the film that you had to shoot?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I do think I don't know. There's kind of two for me. There's and they're both at the end. The musical number at the end, that was fun to film. Because I was able to run around more and this was my upbeat time. That was my time after relaying this traumatic event and just wondering where I'm going to go from here. So that part was really yeah moment. So I enjoyed that one. Then in contrast to that, I also enjoyed filming the last scene where I go home and the mask comes off, very emotionally and mentally tired and exhausted, and there was almost some sort of catharsis with that one for me.
I could imagine,
after having to kind of hide and even ignore those parts of myself for so long, to be able to show that on screen, there was definitely some catharsis with that.
That I can, like I say, I can imagine it would be, because I assume before your diagnosis you probably did mask.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, for like 17 years. Because I think I was 17 when I went to I was either 17 or 18, but I think even then 17 was kind of when it started to come off a bit. During my first or second year of college, that's kind of when I'd almost had enough at that point, because secondary school, there's so much pressure to fit in, and to behave
we can all relate to
way.
that.
But when it got to college, at least for me, that was kind of when I realised that it doesn't matter so much. College is a lot different to secondary school, because you find a lot more individuality in college compared to school. Not just because of like the way people dress, but there's a lot more freedom in college as well to do the things that you want to do. And you meet lots of new people who also share the same interests as you. You're open to more opportunities, and I think when you put all of that together, it just really makes you think, yeah, I mean, why should I continue to be the way I was in secondary school when I wasn't truly happy with it? But even then, I didn't realise that I was unhappy in secondary school until college, when the mask came off. I was more myself. I was enthusing more about my interests as well. So yeah, that all just kind of got the ball rolling there, I would say.
That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
It's okay.
So, Charlie, what did you think what was your favourite part of the film that you had to shoot?
I think personally it was the party scene. Just because I felt that scene had like the most kind of meat for my character, in the sense that that's where he hears Graham say that outrageous comment about Alice, and it's the sort of thing where he wants to say something and like help her, but he just doesn't, because he also just wants to fit in and be well liked. So I just really enjoyed doing that, filming that scene and having that internal monologue for that character. But I also did really enjoy the nighttime scene at the railway as well, just because of how cool it looked.
It did look cool, but for the few people who were watching, it was a very long night. It was very long. We finished about 4 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Oh God, yeah. That was my first night shoot as well.
I tell you something, like, I think because we were literally fed. We were literally surviving on tea and Domino's pizza. That's what got us through that night. And there was actually some Domino's pizza left over, which I sort of like took to the side and just gorged over when I. But it's interesting you bring up that scene, Charlie, because after rewatching it, because one of the most important parts about acting is reacting, and like you can tell exactly what Danny's thinking in that moment and what he wants to do. You can really see his internal struggle, and you did a fantastic job with that, mate. Really well done.
Oh, thank you.
My casting is marvelous. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Although the casting should also, I would like to point out, like it was a joint effort between me, Maeve Coffey, the producer, and also Ben Pantegast, who was actually the stunt coordinator for the night scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like because he had some experience in casting, So we sort of like we had meetings about that, and like it was really really difficult. Summer, like I mean, honestly, obviously you were always in our top picks, but like there were so many good performances, but you were everything that the character needed to be. You just like I can't imagine these roles played by anybody else now. Like I actually am struggling to think like the actors who were going to play Peter, Danny, and Charlie. I can't actually imagine them playing those roles, because what I encouraged with you guys was to bring a lot of your own to the role to make it really a collaborative effort. So, and I think it's because of that I can't really see any other ways, because you can only do the stuff that is unique to your own skill sets. So, yeah, I can. That's the only thing I can imagine. If there's any other questions that the chat has, yeah, please shout it out. But I would. But there's something I do want to point out. It's not a question, but it's something I want to point out. It's something like I always imagine that the character of Alice is somebody that if she's listening to someone trying to explain something, half of her brain is listening to the conversation and trying to help, but the other half has like Oliver Postgate style cartoons and a speech bubble doing funny things.
Yeah.
Do you think the same, or do you have a different interpretation of her psychosis?
No, I mean, no, I mean, I do kind of imagine her doing that, just because she's got a bit more of like a rebel thing about her. So I do kind of imagine that she not fully listening, but I can definitely imagine her getting more distracted, or maybe playing like a cartoon in her head of like her fighting off some like ninjas or something with her bow staff. I can imagine her being in her own head about that whilst trying to listen to what someone else is saying.
I think in any case she's a fighter, and in every sense of the word, both as an offense and a defense.
Army.
Yeah.
One woman army. Yep.
Yeah, because I mentioned, did you guys watch the Easter eggs video that I did?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because like because I talked about how the lyrics sort of was complemented that moment. I also mentioned in the Easter eggs video about like the soundtrack for what Alice would listen to. But that's something that you and Alice have in common. Like your love of classic music, not like Mozart, but like stuff from like the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Like what were you fixated on? Because I also remember Kevin saying that like you guys kind of bonded over those kinds of music from back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely 80s music. Anyone who knows me just knows how much I absolutely love that era in terms of music. It's definitely my favorite. I was just getting into Genesis at the time, but not just the band, but also like the solo careers of Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, and it was Peter Gabriel, his album So from 1986. That was the one that me and Kevin spoke about the most, because just.
And of course, Phil Collins was the subject of your audition, because that's the song you chose. You like
yeah.
What was it? Like, which song was it?
It was Strangers Like Me from Tarzan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one. Like,
yeah.
I wanna know.
Yeah, that one.
What kind of light Genesis in this? What kind of light Genesis in this moment? Actually.
Sorry.
What kind of light Genesis in this moment on this live stream? And then there were 3.
Yeah. And then there were 3. Yeah. Very it's very interesting, Genesis. Like where your allegiances lie. Like are team Peter? Are you team Prog, or are you team Phil ruined the band with all this bubblegum pop nonsense?
It's like those it's like those people who say it's not Queen without Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I disagree that Phil that see, the main thing that annoys me the most is that they say it was all just Phil's fault. But it's like, no, Mike and Tony also wanted to move in the same direction, but because of like because he was coincidentally the lead singer at that time, it just kind of got, oh, Phil ruined the band. It's not prog anymore. And it's like, well, if you actually listen to some of the albums, you will see they do still have some progressive rock elements in there, but people just tend to listen to the singles and not listen to the full album, and it really annoys me.
Actually, speaking of singles, there's actually another question for you, Summer, or specifically for you from Flame Fury, who's got the majority of comments, and I think that's going to be the fame for this live stream. But it's nice to have anybody watching, really. But he asks, like, what is your favourite Peter Gabriel song?
Oh, right. That's hard. I think oh my god, I'd say the one that I probably play in my head the most is probably Don't Give Up, the one he did with Kate Bush. There's just something about that song. I think everyone needs to listen to that song at least once a week, because it's
was Peter Gabriel the one who did the Hammer? No, the one. It was the one with the music video where with the dancing chickens.
Dancing chickens.
Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer, I think.
Huh?
Was it Sledgehammer?
Sledgehammer, yeah.
Because
that was on the same album.
Well, yeah, because its music video is famous for for its stop motion animation. And here's a fun fact: the dancing chickens was said to actually have been animated by Nick Park, who went on to form Aardman Animation, who are the creators of Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah. I read that.
Oh, and it's confirmed in the comments. It was Sledgehammer.
That was a very revolutionary music video for the time. Quite a lot of 80s music videos were, which is another reason why I like that decade of music so much, because it wasn't just that they put everything into the music, but just everything into the production, to the music videos, to the album covers. Like, everyone just said go big or go home.
Exactly.
The 80s, especially with the hair.
The hair was out lavish. So Charlie, my man, what do you think is the biggest commonality between you and Danny? Like, what do you think is the thing that you have in common?
I think that wanting to stay on everyone's good side type of attitude. I don't think I've got it quite as much as he did. Like, I don't think in that party scene, for example, I'd have just
I think you're way more extroverted than Danny is. And I mean that in a good way. Actually, no, I kind of sometimes view you, Charlie, as a neutral chaotic. Like, you know, you like if things their conflicts arise, you're just gonna sit there with a popcorn and just watch.
I mean, yeah.
but just chip in every now and then just to keep the conversation going. I'll tell you what, though, I've just thought of something. Have you guys ever heard of the presenter Larry King?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he does this thing called "If Only You Knew" questions, when he interviews guests, and I think they're quite cool. And for like people before more questions come in, like why don't we? I like to ask you guys that because I think that will spark some really interesting conversations as well. It's just a bit of fun, really. All right. All right. So now we come to the latest section of Only You Knew. So, where did you grow up?
Sorry, if you repeat that again, it cut out a bit.
Where did you grow up?
Cut out again. Oh no, I think we're having a bit of.
Can you still?
Wait, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can now.
Where did you grow up?
Where did I grow up? Well, I grew up in Southampton, Millbrook, Southampton. That's where I grew up.
Charlie,
Southampton right now.
Oh, you're Southampton. Awesome, brilliant.
Up with the Saints.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Charlie?
I grew up in a small town just outside of Brighton called Hassex.
Awesome. Who was your biggest childhood celebrity crush?
Oh God. I don't know. I remember my first kind of celebrity crush type thing when I was a child. Okay, well there was two. One of them was a guy from Power Rangers Jungle Fury, RJ.
I do not blame you at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely watched Power Rangers Jungle Fury for the plot. Definitely. I definitely watched it for the plot as a kid. And the second one was Colin Firth. Because he was in a few movies that I'd watched as a child. So I'd say those two were probably my first and the ones that I had as a child.
Charlie?
The one that's popped into my head is I don't quite remember her name, but she played Morgana in Merlin.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh yes, her. Yeah. Yeah, she was. Yeah, because she was also in Supergirl, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. She was Lena Luthor.
Yeah.
And also, she got swallowed by a mosasaur in Jurassic World.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I bet you were devastated.
I was actually. I wasn't expecting it as well. It came out of nowhere.
Oh no, it's annoying when you go to the cinema to watch your celebrity crush and then they die in the film.
Yeah, it's like because spoiler alert. When I went to see the film, the DC film, The Suicide Squad, Peter Capaldi was in it. He was the thinker, and as a guy who was a doctor who I cherish, he then got ripped. His limbs got ripped off on screen by the big kaiju monster in there, and I was like, I don't want to see that.
No, I did not sign up for this.
I did not sign up for this.
He'll be fine. He'll regenerate.
yeah, he'll regenerate. He'll regenerate to Jodie Whittaker. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I was the same. What kind of recently it was and this is a bit of a weird one. This is not one that everyone gets. But I'm going to say it because
just say it.
Why not? So I went to see No Time to Die. And I was a little bit interested in the film. But then I heard of a cameo in there, and I was like, oh my god, I am going to see this film, even if he's in it for like 3 minutes. And that person was Hugh Dennis. And spoiler alert, he got shot, and I was actually I was like, no.
Just
The way that I've
nope.
spent money just to
Nope.
see Hugh Dennis on the big screen and he gets shot, like this is not the vibes that I was looking for. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to be in it for long. Like I was just expecting a cameo because it's only Hugh Dennis, but it was when he got shot. I took that very, very personally.
No, I can totally
I
understand.
didn't know he was going to be in that film, so when he just popped up, I was like, "Wait,
Yeah.
what? What are you doing?"
I
here?"
know.
It was like how Harry Styles just appeared at the end of the Eternals.
Oh God, no, no.
I just also the honest traders who did the honest traders for the honest traders, like when they did that when they did the honest name section for Eternals and they got to Harry Styles, he was just like Ed Harry Styles.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was It'll be interesting to say the least to see where they take that.
Actually, do you know what's the funniest part? The character that he's playing, Starhawk. You know what his power in the comics is? He's irresistible.
What?
He's irresistible.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why you cast someone like Harry Styles. But actually, there's a question in the question. Actually, it's one for me. That's nice. Toby, since your film is based on your love of railways, this film wasn't based on my love of railways. It was about a lot of things, but railways was just really a backdrop. But yeah, okay. When will season 2 of Locomotives of British Railways be coming out, or are you still making it? You know about this, Charlie. This is a common question. Loads of people. Loads of people ask it. All I'm going to say is, yes, still making it. Season 2 is coming out. Still making it. Move on. Anyways, so also just we'll carry on with we'll do the Larry King questions periodically so that we don't lose focus from why we're actually here to talk about the film. So what would you say is a moment because I've talked to you about this before, but I think it'd be nice to sort of compare notes about how the experiences of the films, as in going into this short film, doing over the multiple days and stuff. What was your perception of the experience really? Because it's nice to be getting that different viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for me, it was like the first short film that I really worked on. I spent years learning about how films get made and stuff, and looking at behind the scenes and watching a lot of behind the scenes videos on YouTube and documentaries. But to actually be there, there was something quite special about that for me, because again, I didn't think I'd even get not just that part, but any part that I auditioned for. So finally stepping onto a film set and just seeing everyone, because the crew was great. Everyone knew what they were doing, and it was a really nice atmosphere on set as well. And it's also nice when you have a crew that know what they're doing, because it gives you the confidence as well. So all of that was just really, really nice for me to see. Just a really good all-round positive first time shooting a short film.
Yeah, it was a really, really good crew. Definitely the best I've worked with, and I think that's a shared opinion with a lot of people on the crew. In fact, in the behind-the-scenes documentary, Maeve said that herself. But what about you, Charlie? Did you feel the same, or was this just a job for you, or did you get a different sort of experience from this for this particular endeavor?
No, it's very similar experience. Yeah, I found it just really informative like, as well as fun, obviously. But yeah, just watching just the film happen. I think as well, I wasn't like this huge major role. There were a lot of times where I was just sort of watching everything go on, and yeah, it was really really good to see, and really satisfying to watch as well, because yeah, like everyone was pulling their weight. There was no one person who just wasn't doing something. Like you'd look around and everybody was trying to do a particular thing for the film, and it watching that was just really like satisfying and really informative.
Yeah, I've never really got that phrase, pulling your own weight. Surely you're more like carrying your own weight. That kind of would seem a bit more accurate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I suppose so.
I think maybe pulling their weight doesn't necessarily refer to them, but like a metaphorical like thing. Like say you're a camera person, like pulling their weight, like their weight of the camera maybe, or just like whatever job you're expecting them to do, I think is the weight in that scenario.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But of course, like we weren't the only shoot. And yep, I'm gonna talk about it, Summer. You knew this was gonna come. All right, so let me context for those you don't know, because I didn't put in the Easter eggs video, but I did make a unique post about it on the Instagram. So basically, what happened is that there was a BBC production filming on the same day that we started filming, which was one of the episodes for the BBC series, a very British Scandal, which stars Paul Bettany and Claire Floyd, and they were there on set. And we were professional. We didn't really interact with them because that wasn't really the time for it. But but they came in on the train. They did their business, and we used the train to our advantage. It left, and we filmed our bit, to get that shot of when Peter was leaving and the titles would come up. And I'm just saying like this so I can postpone Summer's reaction. But anyway, Summer was on the other end of the platform where Paul Bettany was, but it was only after he left that I told her that he was there, and being the big Marvel fan she is, you were absolutely livid.
No, not just Marvel fan, but Vision fans. I am one of the few Vision fans. I'm one of the few Vision stans on this planet. And
you're a stan for Wanda's glorified microwave.
Hey, I will not sit here.
For context, the character of Vision is an android.
He's a synthesoid.
Synthozoid. Yeah, sorry, synthozoid.
He's a synthesoid.
But he referred to himself as an android in What If?
Yeah, in What If? But I'm just saying, if I was the writer, he'd be synthesoid. That is what he was referred to as synthesoid in WandaVision. So
fair enough.
That's how he is a synthesoid.
But you're a stan for him. I
get very passionate when it comes to Vision. I will defend him.
But as
his lawyer, his PR manager, his bodyguard.
As much as I like to tease you about it, Summer, like realistically, if you were there, would you have actually been able to contain yourself? Would you have actually been professional?
No, I would have been. I can be a professional. Afterwards, I would have screamed. But in the moment, I do know how to be a professional. Do you know what was even weirder though?
What was that?
Was it the night before? It was either the night before. Wait, would it have been the night? Yeah, I think it may have been because obviously we got to the Airbnb, where we were staying, and on the first night, whilst everyone else was like getting stuff ready for the first day of shooting, I watched a film upstairs, and that film was A Beautiful Mind. which stars Paul Bettany, and then he arrives the next day, and it was like, wow, maybe I did manifest him standing on the same platform that we were shooting on. But yeah,
well, at least that's how it played out in another universe.
In another universe, yeah, no. Mark my words. I will work with Paul Bettany one day, and I will.
Mark your words.
Oh yeah.
Like Mark Spector Moon Knight. Like Mark Spector Moon Knight.
Sorry.
Like Mark Spector Moon Knight.
Yeah. No. Mark my words. I will work with Paul one day, and I'll say, hey, really funny story. But you remember when you did this series, and then you were in East Sussex on a railway station, and there was a student film crew there. Yeah, I was in that film. Isn't that so funny?
Oh,
exactly
the angle of your camera is going up.
Yeah, that is. I'm manifesting that the same way that I unintentionally manifested him showing up by watching A Beautiful Mind the night before.
So is there any is there any regrets that you guys have from working on it? Or is there something that you might have wanted to do, or you might wanted more of from your characters, but you didn't get it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not necessarily a regret, but I do feel like since doing the film that I'm now a stronger performer than I was then. So I wouldn't call it a regret, but I feel like I would be able to bring more to the character if I were to play it again, now that I've got some more experience under my belt and more confidence as well, which doing Rare Woman gave me a lot of confidence. So yeah, I mean, kind of a regret, but kind of not. Just more of like, I know that I've got more to give, and I would like to be able to give more to the character.
Oh, that's fair enough. What about you, Charlie?
One thing kind of sprung to mind, but I don't know if it would have been possible because Alice was sort of the focal point of every scene. She needed to be in it. But I always thought, it could have been interesting to have seen a scene of like Graham, Danny, and Charlie discussing Alice without Alice even. I know you sort of have that at the beginning when you're talking to a camera, but like just them working on a train, having like a conversation about what happened before, and sort of seeing their almost kind of having like a debate about it. That suddenly popped to my mind. It might not make much sense, but
also the idea of like contributing, some adding something to your characters. There was also true of like some improvised bits. There's two that really spring to mind. One of them actually involves your character. It was during like that when you were like working by the side of the wagons, and that probably the best line in the film because it was not written by me.
Yeah. No, it was yeah, I know the one you're talking about. That was good because I didn't expect it as well. So like that reaction, that was a real reaction because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, the other one I really loved. It was the shot at the beginning of the party flashback where you two and Kevin were walking into the house, and I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was saying something along the lines like, now before you get going, like he's inherited from his house from his mum or something, so like he's very particular about that. But us behind the camera, it was lucky that we didn't have much sound in there because with us behind the camera we couldn't stop laughing. It was
Yeah.
it was so it was so good. I loved moments like that. Also, just while on the subject of Danny Charlie, I kind of like to imagine that I think after this experience, like he probably might gain some more confidence as a character, maybe, and like maybe start to lead almost by lead by Alice's example. Maybe like he becomes a bit more rebellious. Maybe he has a bit more of gets a funny hairstyle or flamboyant fashion sense, or like Harry Potter style glasses or whatever. I can just imagine like him starting off as like just the most average of Joes you can meet, but turning it into the biggest hipster ever.
I could see that actually. Yeah, that does sound quite right actually. I think he would sort of learning more about her, almost learn more about himself as well, and come out of his shell a bit more. And I think
Yeah.
Harry Potter style glasses could work.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, you gonna say something, Summer?
No, I was just gonna say it. Be like Grace, like the ends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
When she embraces
Sandy and Danny both have their transformations. Yeah.
I want to flip my hair back like Zuko, and people thought I looked like him and compared me to him. But it was probably because I was wearing also a white T-shirt. But that's neither here or there to be honest. But I do think I do reckon that if we were ever to like revisit these characters again, wink, like it was be an opportunity. It might be maybe that's just something worth exploring.
I think it'd be interesting to see Alice's boyfriend, because he's mentioned a few times, but we never see him.
Oh, sorry. Before actually hold that thought, because there is another question. Are you making a sequel to this? No, we're not making a sequel to the Railway Woman. Not to the Railway Woman. Wink, wink. But anyways, no, yeah, because that actually would be a nice idea. Because like, if whoever Alice's boyfriend is and Danny were to meet, how would that exchange go down? And actually, we kind of have him already cast. We kind of have the character already cut.
Yeah.
Because I did show you a picture of some of what he thought looked like, but I've changed that now. That's not what he looks like. But you have met the person. Do you remember?
Really?
Do you remember when we went to go and see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings back in September last year?
Yeah.
And my mate Matthew was with us.
Yeah.
That's him. That is Alice's boyfriend.
Okay.
I did talk to him about it, and he said like he would like to do that, but he did have a condition.
Yeah.
He did have a condition with it though.
Yeah.
Well, he said that if he was ever to make his own films or star in a film, he wanted his character to have a name.
Yep.
Bobby Daniels.
Bobby Daniels.
And actually, that kind of works out because because me and Summer had endless conversations about like with like some of her backstory and what a character went through, and essentially how it goes. And you can contribute to this as well, Summer. That essentially it's kind of sensitive, but Summer goes through Alice goes through a bit of a traumatic sexual experience when she was still quite young, but and that did contribute to her coming out as bisexual, but also her boyfriend, Bobby, he was there for her and it still accepted her and understood her when no one else really would. So it's more to do. It's not the fact that she didn't think Danny was a good person or not a worthy mate or whatever. But the point is that like there was something in him that like she just didn't see in anybody else, and that's something that she just really she was just enchanted by that, and just like is moved by that. And because a lot of people on the spectrum, when you commit to something, you commit to it. That was her that was her mindset. Yeah, no, I think if we were ever to do something again, I think we should definitely bring Matthew Rowe in as Bobby and see them on screen together, which is also quite good because in our discussions I said to it that he's a guy that Bobby's a guy who studies history, and that's exactly what Matthew did his degree in.
Yeah. I remember having conversations about that and about how Bobby is a lot more focused on his studies compared to Alice.
Yeah, because Alice was somebody who doesn't necessarily know what she wants in life. Like, kind of wants to have. There's stuff she likes doing, like volunteering on heritage railways. But she just kind of wants to have a life where she doesn't know what's going to happen the next day, which is tricky for her because it clashes with with her being autistic. Because there is a sense of order that she does like. She can be particular, so. It's fascinating. It's actually a fascinating dichotomy that what she wants to do is uncertainty, but uncertainty doesn't sit well with her. But but she does want it so badly.
Yeah, no, and that's an interesting to point out and to explore as well, because you tell people that you're autistic and they say, oh, but you do this, but then that contradicts that. Like me, for example, I'm not good with sound. I'm very noise sensitive, and hearing a lot of different sounds is one of the things that usually gives me sensory overload. Yet I love music and I play the drums. And that confuses a lot of people when I say that. I was like, yeah, but it's because I have an element of control when it comes to music and the drums. Like, I can control the volume, and I've got electric drums as well.
Yeah,
so obviously I can control the volume.
And actually, that's something where your characters do relate, because Alice's sensory issues is around touch, not sound. Because if it was sound, how would she be able to work around steam engines?
Yeah.
We cast you so damn well, Summer. So, why don't we go? But yeah, it is a fascinating dichotomy. But just before we before we go back into some Larry King questions, about Danny, like, I kind of wanted Danny to be the representative of every single young teenage male volunteer on heritage railways, and I think we actually achieved that pretty well. I mean, do you guys know people like Danny? Because I think you can meet there's a lot of people that in real life that I've met who are like Danny.
Like Danny in the sense that they volunteer.
Like Danny in the sense that they're extroverted without being showboaty.
Yeah, no, I definitely know people like that, and those are the extroverts that I prefer to be around.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think I fall into that category because I'm a born showman. But this is
that's the other thing as well, like about how people assume that if you are in this industry, you have to be a massive extrovert, which I'm not. Obviously, I can be chatty and I'm all for having fun, but I'm just not that extroverted, and that confuses people when I tell them that I want to be a performer. They say, "Well, but don't you have to be all in people's faces and showboating?" And it's like, no, you don't have to be. Some people are, and that's fine. And then you get other people that are more introverted, and that's also fine. There's no set way that you have to be in how you socialise or prefer to socialise or prefer not to socialise in order to be a performer.
Exactly. Oh, we've got a question in from Mint Customs. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Who asks, are you still going to work on British Railway Series Brighton? Yes, I am. I've already answered this question, but if it comes up, I'll still answer it. Yes, we are. We still are. In fact, actually, contact me soon, Charlie, because actually there's something I want to talk to you about that. Actually, so there is something in the works. But but actually, you don't actually know about that series, do you, Summer?
Don't believe I've heard of that one.
Basically, what it is that it's a Trains with Faces series like Thomas the Tank Engine, but it's based on historical events.
Oh, okay.
And Charlie's one of the voice actors. He plays a character called Oliver.
Oh, okay.
And it's all voice actor driven. It's very, very fun. You can join the cast if you want to. Well, I'm sure there's a role we can find for you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing some more voice acting at the moment.
Can you do can you do received pronunciation?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. I'm practicing it. Once I get a lot more practice, so we had to do it for a module last year, and with practice, I can get there.
Well, because I think there could be a role that you'd be really good for, actually.
Oh, okay.
For season 2, actually. Wink, wink to audiences.
Yeah.
If people want, I mean, it'd still be nice to work together. I love continue working with everybody. Yeah. In fact, if we ever did do some sort of follow up to the Railway Women, I would want to bring as much of the crew back as possible. I mean, it would always be tricky not to get everybody back, but I know you two will be gung ho about that. So it's nice to know that I can count on you guys at least.
Yeah.
And there's loads of people who also can count on, but you never know what life's going to throw at you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always nice in this industry when you do get to work with people again that you've worked well with before. It just creates such a nice environment. Creates a lot of confidence as well. A lot of good vibes.
Exactly.
When you're working with the same, because you know what to expect as well. You know how everyone works. You know how to work around how everyone works. Just makes it easier, lighter, more enjoyable.
Exactly. But also, if we do return, we should add your drumming aspect to the character. We should have her play the drums.
Oh wow, that would be nice. I have not had the chance to properly practice in a while because I've been very busy. But I'm hoping during the summer to get back into it. I haven't completely lost it.
No, I didn't think you did.
Yeah, no. But anyway, also just I've been going to the gym a lot as well. So my arms will be stronger. So I'll have more endurance.
Oh, cool.
Because it is very tiring.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's carry on with some Larry King questions. Should be fun. Oh, this is a fun one. Guilty pleasure.
Oh, now I take some slight issue with the phrase guilty pleasure, because if you enjoy it, then why has it got to be? What's so guilty about it?
Well, I agree. It was just a question that I had written down.
Yeah. No, but having said that, again, I'm not really good at choosing one, so I've got two. One of them, which is probably the biggest guilty pleasure that there is. When you think them, you think guilty pleasure. When you think guilty pleasure, you think them, and that is ABBA.
That's not guilty pleasure, though.
No, so many people say, "Oh yeah, ABBA's guilty pleasure.
Actually,
And
one of my favorite television lines involves ABBA. It was from Gary Girls when they were talking about what Protestants have in common with Catholics, and Ola just said Protestants hate ABBA.
Yeah, I haven't seen Derry Girls, but I've seen that scene. I think every ABBA fanatic has seen that scene. So you think ABBA, you kind of think, well, not me. I don't think this, but the casual person, they think ABBA, they think Mamma Mia, which is definitely in guilty pleasure territory. So yeah, that's one of mine. And my other one is cheesy love songs from the 80s.
Yeah.
Which is another one of my guilty pleasures, especially for you, Lady in Red, Sweet Surrender. Yeah, I'm an absolute sucker for all of those, which people do not expect from me as well.
And what about you, Charlie?
The one that sprang to mind was the James Bond film Moonraker. The one where they go into, it's a Roger Moore one where they go into space and have like laser fights, and it's because I think Star Wars had just come out and they wanted to jump on that band, and it's so bad, but I just love it. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's one of those films that it's so bad you can't help but love it. It's like an animal that tries to do a trick, but they kind of fail to do it, and you're like, oh, you got a bit carried away there, didn't you? Oh. Oh, this is a good one. What is your celebrity look-alike?
Oh, I don't know. There's not really many celebrities coming to mind for me. There's no celebrities that I look like, but there's definitely two celebrities where it's like I swear we think the same. Like I just find them so relatable. It's like wow. But in terms of looks, I don't. It's not something that I put like a whole lot of thought into, and there's no one immediately springing to mind.
That's fair enough. If you can't answer the question, we can always move on to another one. But can you think of one, Charlie?
No, I can't. Charlie?
Brad Pitt actually is one. No,
Zendaya.
I've been told David Mitchell a couple of times.
It is so weird you say that, because he's one of the people on this planet I relate to so much. He was one of the two people, both him and his wife, Victoria.
Victoria Curran once did this fantastic documentary about the life of P.L. Travers, the person who wrote Mary Poppins, in the lead up to the biopic Saving Mr. Banks. Brilliant film, by the way. If anyone hasn't seen it, I strongly recommend go and watch Saving Mr. Banks. But actually, no. Here's actually a question that, as an actor, I think you might find juicy. Which historical figure would you like to portray?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a hard one as well. One, because I'm not huge on history, and two, because I'm trying to think of influential mixed race people in history. Because, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. I'd probably have to do a little bit more history.
That's
research.
Fair. That's fair
that
enough.
One.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
What about you, Charlie?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I've never thought of There are a few names going around my head. Charles Dickens pops to mind for some odd reason. But I suppose it's not really a historical figure, though.
No, Charles Dickens is a historical figure.
Yeah, I'd say he is. Yeah.
If they were a historical figure in Doctor Who, they're a historical figure. Actually, we got some we got something from Swiftbird here. It says greetings. I don't know what your voice is. I'm pleased to find your space-time coordinates. Okay, that's nice of you. He says congratulations on the Railway Woman and marvelous creation. He said, oh, what? How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce this word? TENUOUSLY. What's that word?
I don't know.
Well, that dash linked perhaps. I see where he's going. He's leading up to a question. Okay, okay. Well, it's a question. But have you a favourite London Underground line?
Oh. Trying to think, because I've been going to London a few times. Yeah, ever since university, I've been going to London quite a lot. I'm trying to think what's the line that I go on the most. Or oh no, what was the line? Oh no, that was the Overground when I went. The last time I went to London. Oh, I just heard myself then.
Well, it's not. Mine's not. I don't know if it's technically an underground, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's the TFL.
Yeah.
Because it's my railway.
Yeah. You gotta represent.
Yeah, exactly. You got one. You got one, Charlie. If you have.
Yeah.
No, I don't really got. I haven't been in the London Underground for.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I can't remember what line it was, but it's my favourite because during the summer I went to London with my family, and it was my younger siblings. They would have been 11, 7, and 9, and it was their first time on the Underground, and 2 of them, my sisters, they were so scared. And I know that sounds mean, me laughing about the fact that they were scared, but they were like clinging on to the seats for dear life, and just it was their reaction to it. And then also there was we were all teasing my brother over something as well. So if I can remember what that line was, I'll say that one just because of the memories that I made on it.
Okay, fair enough. Actually, on that note, is a question on the list. I think that might be cool. Name something on your bucket list.
To see the Northern Lights in Sweden.
So you want to see Aurora Borealis?
Yeah, but in Sweden specifically.
Oh, why Sweden exactly?
Because Sweden is the birthplace of ABBA.
Of course.
Yeah.
What about you, Charlie?
Good question.
He's thinking. It's formulating.
I am.
Just.
I guess it'd be quite cool to see a Shakespeare play at the Globe. I know that's quite an easy thing to go and do, but I've just not done that yet.
I've not done that either. Maybe we should go together.
Yeah.
That might actually be a nice day out. Here's a cool one. What do you think is the best film ever?
Oh, mate, you can't ask me that.
I mean, everyone in TFL who watches TFL Creative Media knows what mine is. It's Cool Runnings, 100%.
As someone who is half Jamaican, hard agree there. Yeah, no, it's one of my favourites. I'm the type of person that can't pick a favourite. I've got more of like a tier list when it comes to films rather than a ranking, because I'm just too indecisive.
Okay, well, why don't you name a few of your favourites then?
Few of my favourites. Working Girl.
That's a good one.
With Harrison Ford, Sigourney Weaver, and Melanie Griffiths, released in 1988. That film is so underrated. Love that film so much. Romancing the Stone. Love that film. That film was actually very important in terms of what it meant for the film industry as well, because if that film wasn't made and didn't get the success that it did, then Back to the Future would have never been made. So
another what if scenario.
Trying to think. Yeah, most of them are 80s films. Again, I just love the 80s so much. But yeah, no, those two, especially Working Girl. Like, every time I watch that film, I'm like, right, let's go.
Yeah.
You've got to put your head down. You've got to hit the ground running.
Speaking of the 80s, like, because I think that I would love to do my top 5 movies list again, because I've watched a few of John Hughes films recently, and one I might potentially, maybe not the top 10, but definitely top 20, is The Breakfast Club. I just think that's one of probably the best example of a film, as in a feature film I can think of doing a lot with very little, because it's one location and they got so much out of it.
Yeah.
The only problem I think it's a really good film. The only issue I have with it is the ending, but I don't want to spoil it. But there's just something about it that just doesn't sit right with me. But I think that was just more the attitudes of the time rather than it being But it still doesn't detract from what came forward. And also, of course, The Breakfast Club inspired part of The Railway Woman, because it ends on that show of the main character doing like one of these, then Fade to Black, and then you go up through the Superman with the staff.
No, I do love The Breakfast Club. But the first time I saw it or came new of its existence was actually from an episode of Victorious.
Yeah, Victorious did that, an homage to the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Well, actually, because they did something actually quite smart, because in the Breakfast Club they talk about one of the characters, like the princess, as it was in the marketing, about her teasing her about her not losing her virginity. But in Victorious, because this is a network show, they couldn't use those kind of wording. So what they did is they replaced sex with tacos. And they grill, and they grill. What's a who plays?
It was Cat, wasn't it?
Yeah, Anya Grande.
Yeah, Cat. Yeah.
That character's. But anyway,
and with the smoking as well, they replaced that with the tacos.
Yeah, and the striptease with Andre, like, if he just keeps taking he's got more and more layers. Anyway, but Charlie, But Charlie, what is some of your favourite films?
Probably the Lord of the Rings films are the first ones that come to my mind, and That's something for the bucket list. Go to New Zealand and see the Shire. There we go.
Yeah. Every time you look at
Another
those,
one,
every time you look at those films, like, you know what, I'm gonna go and book a flight to New Zealand, and then you go and look at the price ticket to New Zealand. You're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I
Nope.
also don't have a passport at the moment, so I cannot go anywhere apart from Republic of Ireland. So I wouldn't be able to go to New Zealand even if I had the money.
Oh, this might be this is a good question. What is your greatest irritation or pet peeve?
Oh, you can't ask me that. I've got too many.
Oh, come on.
A lot of things annoy me. A lot of things annoy me.
To go back to Victorious, when Jade was asked that question, she just like kept going on and on with things that she doesn't like, and it just went on for ages.
Yeah. No, there's a lot, but it's like when you know there's a lot, but your mind has gone blank. One of the things that I hate, where I'm living now, is when so there's like a door to like a cupboard under the stairs, where you get the hoovers and where you get the keys to open the mailboxes outside, and there's actually two things that people do that annoy me. Is that one, they don't shut the door after, or they put the keys in the wrong order of what the post boxes are, and those are just two things that just like, just shut the door and put the keys back where they were before. It's not hard. So yeah, I'd say that's my big one at the moment.
What about you, Charlie?
I really hate it when people chew with their mouths open. That's my like biggest one, because it's like not that hard to avoid doing, and it's just the sound is just nah.
Actually, keep this train going. What keeps you up at night? What keeps you up at night? Oh damn! I just saw what I did there. Sorry. No. Please pretend I didn't do that. That was unintentional. That was unintentional. No. What keeps you up at night?
Oh, what doesn't keep me up at night? My brain likes to annoy me at times where it's like I could have been struggling all day to like write a scene or something, and then I'll be ready to go to bed, and then my mind just starts generating loads and loads of ideas. It's like, no, I'm supposed to be going to sleep. So then I end up getting my phone out to write like notes down, but then it's like, now it's on my screen, and then my brain's getting more stimulated to be awake.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that. Do you find it like you're actually at your most active and creative later in the day?
Yes, yeah, I definitely am, which is annoying when you've got like 7, 8 a.m. starts the next day and you need to be going to sleep.
Yeah, because I can remember when we were doing the post-production for The Railway Woman, like we were like up at like 6 or 7 in the morning to get the edit before the deadline, because there was so many other edits of dissertation short films that had to be done and the lecturers had to assist with, so we had to like really use our time efficiently. But then I'm up at like until 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning finalizing the paperwork afterwards and trying to get everything presentable as evidence. But that's something that keeps me up at night, some long edits to do, because you just want to get them done just keep on going.
Just deadlines in general.
Charlie?
What keeps me up at night is when I'm lying there and I'm about to go to sleep, and then my brain goes, "Oh, remember that really embarrassing thing you did when you were 10 years old that you'd forgotten about for years?" And I'm like, "Oh, thanks," and that's all I can think about.
Also,
Yeah.
like shows that I'm binging keeps me up at night because like if you're gonna start watching a new show, right, you've got to commit to it beginning to the end. But if in the world of binging and streaming shows, especially if they're serialized, if you end on a cliffhanger and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, you can't just end it there. You
Yeah.
need to see what happens next. I actually think I binge watched Jessica.
No.
I think
Yeah.
when Jessica Jones came out on Netflix, I think I binge watched it in like 32 hours straight.
Wow. Yeah. That's gonna be me on May 27th when Obi-Wan and Stranger Things come out on the same day. So I am not leaving the house that day.
And also, don't forget, on the days that Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming out is Miss Marvel.
Wait, is that coming out on the 27th as well?
It's not coming out on the 27th. It comes out on the 8th of June. But they'll be coming out on Wednesdays. So we'll have a Star Wars show and a Marvel show to watch in the same day. So basically, we nerds are being spoiled. We're being spoiled, right? And also, for those of you who don't know, I did a reaction trailer to the Miss Marvel teaser trailer, which was because Miss Marvel is amazing, absolutely amazing. She's like top 3 comic book characters ever. Like she's like number 2 after Daredevil for me. Like she's just absolutely amazing. And
to think they could interact in live action.
The moment that Charlie Cox came onto that screen in Spider-Man No Way Home, everyone cheered, including myself, and I was like, I felt so vindicated.
I want to know what cinemas Charlie Cox was going to where they didn't react, because he said that he went to cinemas and they didn't react. I was like, Charlie, babe, come to my cinema. Everyone was clapping and cheering when you came up.
When I went to see it, I was actually wearing a T-shirt that said "I'm not Daredevil" on it.
Wow.
Which people could believe. People could be like, I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
Hang on. What? I always like this question. Where would we find you on a day off? Sleeping.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to say that because it's the most boring and basic answer, but the way life is so busy at the moment, if I've got a day off, I am just in bed most of the day, probably binging a series. The last day off I had last Friday, stayed in bed, watched the whole of Heartstopper, cried. It was great.
Where can we find you on a day off, Charlie?
I'm just out on a walk somewhere. There's a few different places in Southampton that I like to go. Like I really like the docks actually. Actually in the evening going and
of course
for a bit,
railway aficionados, to link back to the railway women. That Southampton docks was like a network once for a massive dock railway, which was in Sayegg.
Oh.
Which also
Didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it was massive. It was one of the biggest dock railway systems in the country, and there was like also Summer, the locomotive you were under when you were clearing out the ash pan. There was a USA tank. Those were the kinds of locomotives that ran Southampton docks.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because those tank engines, they're called USA tanks for a reason. They were UK exports during the Second World War as like as a departmental exchange, because loads of countries contributed to the war effort and exchanged the logos. But after the war effort, they were surplus to requirements, so some of them were sent to Southampton docks, and because they have such a tight wheel configuration, they can get around the tight bends of Southampton. So they were ideal dock shunters.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the docks have a lot of a very rich history, which I'm not too clued up with because history is not really my forte, but it is nice to have that, because not a lot of people think of Southampton in that way, as a place of having quite a rich history.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. Like it's underrated, Southampton, without a doubt.
I mean, I am biased when I say that.
I imagine both of you are biased with that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, where did Titanic set sail from?
Well, I mean, that's not much of a compliment.
I believe
that was not much of a compliment.
I believe
it was.
I know, but it's still historical.
Did you know
it's
they actually
very important?
You know, they actually built essentially one half of the side of the Titanic when they actually filmed it, which was amazing when you think about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, hang this. Oh, here's a good question. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
Oh no.
Is it like one of those icebreaker questions when you go to school?
Yeah, and apologies to whoever did send this question. I'm sure you had the best intention, but it was always a question that I did not like being asked at school. And it's even like weirder hearing that question now, because before it was like, oh, I was just going to the next stage of education, but I'm 2 weeks away from finishing my second year of university, so it's like, oh wow. Hopefully in 5 years I will still be doing filmmaking. I've been talking to a couple of people about plans after uni to live together, save up as much money as possible, and just film as much as possible. Basically, just kind of doing what we're doing now, but hopefully as the years go on and as we get more roles under our belt, as we network with more people, as we do more auditions, hopefully the scale of those will get bigger throughout those years.
I think I understood some of that. Is it like related to some sort of plan that you've made with some friends, acting friends?
Yeah. We've just been
not to give any of your personal plans away on a YouTube stream.
Oh no. I mean, it's like overly personal, but yeah, no, just it's something that me and this one friend in particular have been thinking about, because we're also writing a lot of content together at the moment, and now that we're doing it and we have plans to like make these films and submit them to festivals and stuff and just keep doing as much acting as possible, we're both just in that place where it's like we don't really want this to stop, so we're just trying to think of how we can continue that after we've graduated.
Well, let me know if you need any help with that. I'm more than happy to give you a hand.
Oh yeah, no, it's always good to know that you've got people to call on as well, which is another thing that that we talk about, like, oh, who do you think we could call for this? Oh, I know someone. Oh, I know someone too. So it's definitely nice to have that network, have that creative network.
It's good to have friends you can call on who work in that professional capacity.
Yeah.
What about you, Charlie? Where will you be in 5 years?
Well, probably chilling in my jacuzzi in my big mansion. I think kind of similar to what Summer said, just still performing and acting and just trying to do as much of that as possible, hopefully, in 5 years, and having the actual time to do it as well.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So, and one final question on this Larry King's question before we move on. Tell us something that most people don't know about you, or the biggest misconception about yourself.
I think probably people expect me to be almost cold.
Cold?
Because I don't. Yeah, well, I don't exactly express emotions the way that, say, a neurotypical would.
That's fair.
I can be quite like rigid almost. I have particular love languages and particular ways of expressing affection, which was an interesting self-discovery part when I was going through my diagnosis and stuff, and that was quite it was hard with my family, but we're all in a much better place now that we've got that understanding about how I do express myself in that way. So, but because of that, people also assume that I'm not like I mean, I am a little bit of a hopeless romantic, and people would not think that about me at all either.
Yeah, no.
Especially because of the misconception about how I'm asexual, and people often think that you're not interested in romance if you're
But that no,
asexual.
that's
That's not what it is.
That's not it
at all. So
it's like
yeah,
how people.
So there's
it's like how people think that.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
it's like people how they think us bisexuals are players, which is not the case.
mm-mm.
Like it's
Yeah,
just as
yeah.
difficult to find romance, and I'm a
Yeah.
hopeless romantic
I
as
mean-
well. So yeah,
Yeah, I could, yeah. I mean, I could do a whole list about misconceptions just based on asexuality alone, but I'm not going to because that's the scripts that me and my friend are working on at the moment. So hoping to get that out there, but yeah, I'm an absolute sucker for a rom-com. Absolute sucker for a cheesy love song, which people do not think that I will be. So it's always kind of like when I do, and they're like, "What, really?" It's like, yeah, I mean, come on, what do you take me for? I've got a heart. It's not made of stone. It's not just a hollow tin chest in there.
that I don't think that at all. I don't think any of us do, really. By the way,
Yeah.
if you want some inspiration about like writing that, there's a short film you should check out called Ace and Anxieties.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
about it's about asexuality. I think you find that quite interesting. I think everyone will. I think you find it quite interesting.
Yeah. So the script for this one is pretty much finished now. We'll be getting into pre-production probably during August, probably August onwards. We'll be starting pre-production for it. I'm really looking forward to it, because we're hoping to enter it into film festivals.
Yeah.
Really try and get as much outreach for as possible, so that there's more.
Maybe you should apply. Maybe you should apply it to Oscar.
Media.
Maybe you should. Sorry, what was that last bit?
Just to get some more asexual representation.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you should submit it to Oscar Bright, like we did with The Railway Woman, which you went to go and see, because that's like it's not just about people who have learning disabilities; it's about people who make them as well. the people that make them to have learning disabilities.
Yeah.
So like, you should definitely do that one for 2023 or 2024. I don't know when it was. But anyways,
no, it was a good experience going there, and that is one of the festivals that we're looking at to submit it to.
Yeah, check out Film Freeway. That's the best portal to find film festivals.
That's what I've been looking on. Got loads of them.
Yeah, look, just make sure you look for the cheap ones, and some of the ones. And the ones.
Oh yeah, no.
The free one.
Yeah, no. We've been looking at the cheap ones. We are students after all.
But finally, Charlie, what about how biggest misconceptions or like something that people don't know about you?
Sorry to be disappointed, but I don't really have an answer to that, to be honest, or anything that I can really think of.
That's all right.
People don't know about me, and then if there are misconceptions about me, I haven't heard them. I can't really answer. I'm sure they're probably. Oh, but yeah, no, I can't think of anything to answer that one. Unfortunately.
Actually, whilst we're here, let me ask you guys something else. Who do you think you think that the railway woman, who are the people that you want who you want to see the railway woman, whose opinion you want to see on them that would mean so much to you if they do see them?
Well, I've kind of already had the people that I
you can already have that.
I value the most. Yeah, they've already seen it. And yeah, like I said, at the start, seeing their responses to it. Yeah, no, I really valued that, especially family. It was nice to hear the compliments from them, and even another friend that I've got who is basically family at this point. I was really looking forward to him seeing it because he's been one of the most supportive people in my life for the past 3 years. So having
who was that?
Having him see it.
Who was that?
Sorry?
Who was that?
Who's that?
As in, the person you've known for 3 years. Who's that person?
This is my old assistant manager at a shop I used to work at back in Southampton. Especially because when I started working at that job, that was when it was all going on inside here about autism, asexuality, the future, just my overall confidence. There was all of that stuff going on when I started that job, and I mean everyone there was very supportive. We really were a little work family where I was the annoying child.
And what about you, Charlie?
I think my family have seen it and they loved it, but also I think a lot of my close friends here in Southampton who haven't seen it yet, because I kind of want to watch it with them and see their first-hand reactions to it, just to see what they get from it. I suppose. I mean, a lot of different ones from different backgrounds and different walks of life, and just see how any of their comments about maybe the subject matter, or even just potentially the way it was filmed from that. So
it was certainly nice for my family and my old assistant manager. It was particularly nice for them because obviously they've had to see me go through all of that, and it was nice for them to see me being able to put it into performance, and it gives them more perspective as well, and also it, like evokes a lot of emotions in them as well, particularly um Graham's line in the party.
Oh yeah.
About
That line,
um
that line still shakes me, and I wrote it in the script.
yeah, so it was it was very important for me, not just as a performer but just as an autistic person,
And
their
also,
views on the film.
yeah, because I don't remember who said it, but like there was a guy in the comments of the film Railway Woman who said something like along the lines of like how like he went to a driver's experience at a railway and they were all friendly with him, but then he started volunteering and then he had similar treatment to what Alice is, so he found it very relatable. So what I think that shows is what the Railway Woman achieved and what the character of Alice has achieved. That despite all the cool things about her, her being autistic, her being bisexual, her having sensory issues, her wielding a bow staff, wearing Doc Martens, she's still actually kind of a universally relatable character in that sense. So I think that makes it all worth it in the end, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it doesn't, it doesn't matter how many people it reaches or the accolades. If you can just have that impact on at least one person, then you know that you've done something right there.
Exactly. And I think that's a really good place to end it on, actually, because we've been going at the stream for almost 2 hours. We've learned some deep dark secrets. We've had some banter, but I think we should also acknowledge like the people who couldn't be with us because they've had things to do, like Maeve Coffey, the producer, Angus Butcher, the cinematographer, Lottie Morris, the first AD, such and so on, but also the other actors, Kevin Cherry, Vince Shields, and Harry Walters. They're all with here in spirit, and you guys are watching this afterwards. Just thank you. Just give a round of applause to everyone. Well done. Just fantastic, everyone. That was absolutely well done, all of you. Like, it still just touches me, like how we all came together and. Like essentially, like I kind of sometimes feel guilty about it. Like it was my idea. It's the thing that I spearheaded, and you guys. But I felt like I was being exploiting you. But like you guys all generally really like doing it, which is really gratifying. And you put in all the effort, and I just couldn't be more grateful for you guys. Just thank you for stepping in when others couldn't, Charlie, and thank you for being a much better Alice than I could have thought of, Summer. And
thank you for the opportunity.
And we need to bring her back. We're gonna visit her again, aren't we? We're gonna do something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I've always
100%.
maintained that I can create characters, but it's actually the actors who own the characters. So
yeah,
Danny's yours and Summer's yours forever.
Yeah.
And before
nothing gonna take that away from me.
Never take you away from me. That's right. But before we go, is there anything you guys want to plug apart from the Railway Woman? Which guys just watch it again, share it with people.
Yeah, watch the Railway Woman. Obviously. I mean, I don't have many things to plug. Oh well, if you wanna follow my Instagram, Lummer Floyd. I've been a little bit more active on there recently. Been working on a few short films with some other amazing creative people, and I do tag them in all of my posts. But yeah, if you wanna check out Lummer Floyd on Instagram, got some interesting projects coming up that I think a lot of people will enjoy.
A wink, wink.
Yeah, wink, wink.
And Charlie, do you want to plug?
Yeah, well, I got two things that I plug, I suppose. One is the Locomotive British Railways series, if anybody hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
And then another is me and my friend have a YouTube channel called Sharp Barnet Productions, which we posted a few little comedy skits on. If anybody would be interested in watching that.
Yeah, all of you check out his YouTube channel, check out her Instagram, and just one more tiny thing before. Actually, I think this will be quite nice. So at Chichester University, the university I went to, the one that Summer's still going to, that there's a big old tech park where a lot of like the media resides, like the media courses and stuff. And on the first floor, there's like loads of different posters from previous short films that characters have worked on. And the Railway Woman's now up there, and that I think, along with that comment that we talked about from that guy in the video, like from the film, like I think that's satisfying as well. I mean, not only people at the uni are going to see it, but the fact that it's a big old poster that anyone can see and just walk by, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't see it took a while for me to see the poster when it got put up. Because I came back from Christmas, Tech Park wasn't open, but when the Tech Park did open, I had COVID. I had COVID over my birthday, which was lovely. I didn't see the poster for a long time, but pretty much every single day before I saw it when it was first put up, I had loads of people taking pictures and sending it to me. It's like, you famous? It's like, well, yeah, I guess I am a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out to the concept artist and the person who did that poster, Bryn.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did such a fantastic job on that. I've hashtagged her Instagram on the every post of Railway Women Week, so go and seek her out, and I even did mention her when I revealed the poster. So go and check her out. And also, it's got your names on it. It's got all our names on it.
Yeah. We made it.
Yeah, exactly. And like with the characters you play, no one can take that away from you.
No.
They can never take away our freedom. But anyway, no, it was a rocky start, but it's been great. I hope you guys did you have fun?
Yeah.
I wish more people could have turned up, but might have been too chaotic. But this was nice. It was still nice anyway.
Yeah.
But
you got to expect some hitches.
Yeah, and this was TFL Creative Media's first live stream.
Yeah. That's right. It'll come back bigger and better.
Yeah. Put an asterisk on that. But anyway, that concludes Railway Women Week, everyone. Oh, thank you so much for watching. You checking in, and the viewers that the Railway Women's got so far has been absolutely received well and much appreciated. Thank you, Summer and Charlie, for being on, and please don't forget to, like and share the video around. Don't forget to subscribe if you can, because it pleases the almighty YouTube algorithm. And I hope to see you all in whatever project comes up next, if it's a follow-up to The Railway Woman, or if it's the next Locomotives of British Railways. But you'll see these actors again, you'll see me again, in whatever comes up next on TFL Creative Media. Ciao for now. And you guys don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Not just from Discord, but